Blog Talk Radio.
To another Friday night edition of the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
What's going on?
Hey, nothing going on but the rent and the bills and the heat wave.
Yeah, I know that's right.
What's
going on? Shit, yeah,
not much.
It is. I'm okay.
Oh, I think we talked about 100 today.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was
felt
hot.
like it. Yeah, I was melting. I was melting.
I was up north most of the day.
Absolutely. Oh, and then you escaped it.
No, it wasn't. It got hot, but the work I had to do some outside work, and I started around 10 o'clock. I was going to do it a little later, but I said, you know what? It was like 75 degrees, maybe. And I just said, let me get out here and do this little landscaping, you know.
I think you got around some of it.
No, I still, sweated my ass off. Anyway, everything's cool?
Everything's everything.
Now, our first open question, roundtable question tonight. I'll get into my segment later of what's popping to talk about customer service these days, which is atrocious. I got three places in particular, but anyway, the question I got is: are you conscious of your plastic or cash when you go out? Or you just whip out the plastic and just, do you analyze the store, the situation, people, the environment? Do you have ready cash? Or you just straight plastic and I don't care, this is a mediocre card, kind of thing? This is my little, side hustle debit card, so if it falls in the mud, F it. Or are you precautious on, the sign on the door, the people behind the cash register, and things like that? What do you think? Well, how do you roll out there with your paying cash versus, and I'm talking every place too. I'm talking everywhere from Chick-fil-A to liquor stores to mom and pop stores to hole in the wall dives, you name it. How do you break it down whether you want to do the cash or the plastic, or do you trust everybody with your plastic? Which you shouldn't, but how do you roll? Redwine.
Oh, go to me first.
Yeah.
I do look at where I am and decide, is this a place that I'm comfortable using a card?
And this is not on racial lines, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying where I am.
Because white folks could be
if it's a store
anybody.
where everybody seems very lax,
yeah,
and
right.
It's like, I don't know if my card is going to get used by somebody else. Sometimes just certain stores, they don't seem real tight on what they're doing. They'll take your card, swipe it. They might lay it down next to the register and talk to somebody else. And if it looks like it's that kind of place, no, I would rather use cash.
So you keep some cash in the kitty?
I try to.
Just in case.
Not always, but I try to.
Okay.
What about you, Ketel?
Yeah, Ketel, we should take big money.
I don't even try it. I'm trying to catch up with you, Papa. How
do you handle your money out there?
I'm looking at it as from a standpoint of we just came through a pandemic, and when we were going through that process, everything was a card. If you didn't have a card, it's like, okay, you can't shop here or whatever. But it was just, everything was card. So if you didn't have a card, you were SOL. You know, those cash people. But I guess it's just the stores that I frequent. I just frequent basically the same stores. So I'm comfortable with either one. It doesn't bother me.
I mean, when you're off the beaten path. I mean, when you're, you know, I know you got your go-to joints. We all do. But when you're off the beaten path, you know what I mean? Let's say you ride through a redneck neighborhood, or you in the bottom of the hood. When I say the hood, I ain't even talking about black people. I'm talking like a Chinese store.
But I thought you said it's not racial. It's not racial, right?
Well, we're not talking. Let's talk culture. Let's talk culture because wait a minute. There could be some horrible Jewish, black, Chinese. Believe me, horrible businesses just all over the map. So we're not talking. We're talking culture more than racial. Let's take it that way.
Well, my thing is, if I have an issue with the card and the card doesn't take, and I know there's money there, and it's not taken properly, fine, I'll switch over to cash. Because there's something either with your system or there's something that's not right. So, like I said, I'm always on the fence, but it doesn't matter to me, cash or card. But I do like to use a card because I try to keep up with my expenses. So that's why I use my card on a regular. But if I have the cash readily available, then I'm going to use the cash. So it's not a big deal to me. So,
right.
You know, I try not to look for the negative. Try to look for positive. If something's not right, I use my card. That's why you call the credit card people, okay? And I go from there. So, you know, it's happened before, so that's something that I had to take care of. And they honored the charge. You know, they said, okay, this is a dispute. We're going to give you money back, yada, yada. So, I mean, you know, it depends on the circumstances. So.
I hear what you're saying, but I still feel like if you go, like, for example, I have been in places sometimes where I ended up at a part of town where I don't normally hang out and ended up stopping in some place to get something to eat. And I was already cautious about that because I'm very particular about what I eat and where. But I said, all right, I'm gonna give these people a shot. And they just seemed to be, like, arguing behind the counter. Seemed like there was some drama going on in the kitchen and all. And I thought, I don't think I want to use my card up in here. Because it just seemed like there was too much friction already in the air. And it just made me not feel comfortable that their not check cashing, but their credit record keeping and stuff wasn't going to be accurate. And I just the vibe in there just didn't feel right. Yeah. So to me, if I feel like the vibe isn't right, it had nothing to do with who the people were because I didn't know them. But the vibe just didn't feel secure, I guess is the right word. It did not feel secure. So I said, yeah, this would be a good time for me to use this cash. So that way I'm done with this transaction. I don't have to worry about is it going to be right when it comes through my bank. Because I have had that experience where somehow somebody got a hold of my card number, not the card. They got my number from a transaction someplace where I don't normally use it, and some transaction showed up on my account that I knew nothing about from some other city, not even in the area. And I had to go through the process, like you said, call the bank. They straightened it out, but that was stressful because it made me wonder, like, okay, who else got it? Did they give it to somebody else? Did they sell it to somebody? Am I going to have to deal with this again and again? So I ended up having to cancel the card, get a new one, go through that. And it's inconvenient when you have to do that. So I just think it's a wise thing to check your environment. And if you feel like, okay, this appears to be, and of course appearances can be fooling, but if it appears to be everything's cool, okay, fine. Let me use my card.
Well, my view on it first and foremost. I don't know if West Philly has anything to do with it, but I'm always on the ready. When I first go into a store, I just need to see good customer service from the beginning, you know. And if I see a slight inclination, I mean, I got a nose like a coyote when it comes to crap. You know what I mean? I just got a nose like a coyote when it comes to crap. Because, and like I said, I hate to talk about the pandemic because after a while, we're going to have to put the pandemic in its proper cubbyhole, like any other ailment that happened in this world, whether it be polio, measles, chicken pox, mumps, everything we've had, you know. But I know that affected a lot of things, but the world is trying to get back right. I mean, I was on an Amtrak train today that was packed, okay, and the mask laws was relaxed, so 50% of people had a mask, 50% didn't. But not to get off subject, I've had experience today at a Dunkin' Donuts, as a matter of fact. When I went in there, 2 or 3 different people, the customer service was horrible. I ordered something for one person, and by the time I looked up, somebody else was at the register. And I'm like, where'd the other girl go? Out of nowhere. I'm like, all right, well, then she has my vanilla chai, and I have my brother with me, and I said, well, he wants the coffee, and I already paid for the vanilla chai. Another girl popped in my, I said, oh, hell no. This is cash and carry up in this joint. This is cash and carry. I mean, you have to be quick on the draw because, you know, cash soothes all doubt. You know what I mean? No matter what you do. I mean, you know, we all can put the plastic down if you want to go through that later. But if you see chaos from the very beginning, why jump into it like what some people call it, jump into cold water? You know, in the ocean. What they call
I forgot. What are they called? Yeah.
Well, outside of being fools. But they have a term. I don't know what it's called. If one of our callers are listening, maybe they can tell us. But anyway, same with that. You know the water's going to be cold, and if you have dealt with lousy customer service, and we all have, we have sat back at the register saying, wow. And one more experience I had, not to go on, I was in a Chinese store ordering something. When I walked in the store, all the grown-ups was in the back cooking. You could see everybody cooking. But up front, there was like a 12-year-old boy. And he's doing his thing and all, and I'm looking at him and everything. And I'm like, well, damn, is anybody going to come out and oversee this? You know what I mean? It went on and on. He was doing this. All of a sudden, he took my order and everything. And I said, okay, this is cash all day also. Now, I gave him a $50 bill. And he shorted me $20. He gave me back like, I don't know, I think it was like, the bill was only like almost $20, and he gave me 10 and a 5 and a 1, and I said, wait a minute, man, how you going to give me, I gave you 50, and it was less than 25, so 25 and 25 is 50, so my bill was 17, so I need to see 25 somewhere in my change. You gave me a 10 and a 5 and a 1, I said, wait a minute, that doesn't even equal 25, No. He hit me with the Chinese dialogue at 12 years old. And I was like, look, man, I gave you a 50. You owe me a 10. He was off by exactly $10. And then he said, oh, I'm having a bad day. 12 years old, he's telling me he's having a bad day. I'm like, are you serious? So like I said, that's an example. And this is a very true story. That's an example where it's cash all day. Please, if you got a child behind the cash register, adverse customer service, crazy crap going on when you walk in the door, please dig into your cash pile. I mean, that's just my opinion.
That's it. That's the bottom line. If there's chaos somewhere, cash and cash.
Yeah.
If it's a calm environment and the customer service on point, credit card.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I know you said, right. I know you said you can go to credit card and let them figure it out, but man, I'm too old to be letting anybody figure out stuff anymore. Anyway, that wraps up our round the table. Ketel, what we got in focus tonight? What's our topics and all that jazz, if you don't mind?
All right. Buckle up, sit back. All right, in focus, 5 Ohio students found guilty of hazing and in a teen's death. Also, third victim dead after shooting at Alabama church, and 2 white racists arrested after violent confrontation with black teen. Here we go again. A cocktail of the week. After all of that, we're going to need that. It's called the Apple Snap. Also, what's popping with Poppa DD? We're going to get into some interesting things. Of course, we're going to lighten it up with our weird news. Glass bar dangles over canyon in Georgia. Okay. Also, a man says he spends $8,500 a year on Pepsi addiction. And New Hampshire distillery turns invasive crabs into whiskey. Okay. I'm just saying with Redwine, come on, Clarence. Living for the city with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up. Of course, the Ketel list and the last word. So sit back, relax, and we'll be back with In Focus.
You're in tune to the Late Night Adult Pajama Party right here on Blog Talk Radio. This is a production of DC Homegrown Entertainment. To share your opinion with the Pajama Party Crew, call us on 914-803-4306 and press 1. If you'd rather just listen in, you can still call us and listen on your phone, or you can listen online by going to our website, www.apajamaparty.com, and clicking the Listen banner in the top right corner. So join the conversation and let us know what you think about tonight's topics or whatever is on your mind. Okay, who turned the lights off? Call us now, 914-803-4306. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party.
Hey, this is Ketel with the Yellow Top. I'm waiting to hear from you tonight. I'm at the Pajama Party Live. So you can reach us at 914-803-4306, or you can check us out on apajamaparty.com. I've got my opinions, but I want to hear yours. Poppa DD and Redwine are trying to beat me down, so I need you to call back and back me up. I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing, so call me now. 914-803-4306. I'm right here on WBJP, Blog Talk Radio, waiting to hear from you. Here they come. I gotta go.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. Kelly, you going to start us off?
Sure
Yes.
am.
All right, let's get in.
All right, we're going to get in focus, all right. 5 Ohio students, if you guys haven't heard the story, were found guilty for hazing and a teen's death. So 3 former fraternity members were sentenced yesterday to jail terms for their roles in the hazing death of a Bowling Green University student. This happened back in March 2021, the death of Stone Folks. He was 20. He was a sophomore from Delaware, Ohio. The people in question is one is 19, 22, and 21. They had pleaded guilty to reckless homicide and hazing counts. The 2 other guys, they pleaded guilty of obstructing of justice. And one other guy, Dunson, he claimed that he tampered with the evidence. Check this out. The guy that's 19, his name is Prezell, he was sentenced to 28 days in jail and 2 years probation. The guy Dunson, he was 21, received 21 day jail term and 3 years probation, while the other guy, Sweeney, he's 22, was given only 14-day jail sentence and 2 years of probation. So all 3 were also sentenced to serve 28 days of house arrest as well. I'm like, okay, this is all that they're getting after what they have done?
These are white boys, I take it, right? In most cases.
There you go.
Yeah, I've heard about that case. I didn't know it finally went to trial, but you made a good point on how the punishment is so interesting, because it seems like no matter what happens, the neighborhood still doesn't want to be tainted because everybody comes up together or came up together, and it's just amazing. Yeah, I didn't mean to step on your story. But
that's all right. But I did want to include that what happened was the guy died of alcohol poisoning after a fraternity initiation event in which he was hazed into finishing an entire bottle of alcohol. He was found unconscious by a roommate after members of the Phi Kappa Alpha fraternity dropped him off at his apartment. He died 3 days later after he was put on life support. These mofos, they dropped the boy off back at his apartment. No, he was intoxicated like that. Come on now. Are y'all that stupid? Just young and dumb, I guess. I mean, they think it's funny, I guess, you know. But I just don't get it.
No, they were trying to just wash their hands of the whole thing. They figured, all right, we're going to drop him off now. We're done with him.
And I wonder how his parents felt about that.
Yeah,
because his parents have been all over the news, and, you know, it's so interesting. It's so interesting when white folks get to witness their own white-on-white crime and see the light side of sentencing when it's done to their own people. Sometimes you wonder how they feel. And I know they feel horrible. But maybe you would think sometime it would bring people to the reality of what's happening with people of color all the time. But it seems like it just doesn't jive. But, you know, the judge is the one that calls the shots, so they need to jump in his ass, you know. Wow, that's very interesting.
I guess they were, one, they were white, two, they were young. But still, you know, you got to be held responsible. You know, I thought it was going to be some years, maybe 6 months or maybe a year or 2 years. So you're going to do 21, 28 days in jail, and then after that you're on 2 or 3 years probation. So what happens if you're asked in jail with it? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that's almost like not being sentenced at all.
Right. But what happens? The quicker the thing is, what happens if something happens within that 2 or 3 year probation? Are you going straight to jail again for a longer period of time, or are we just going to slap you on the wrist again? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Woo.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Say if one of them were involved in a hit and run and the person died, or a car accident and the person died that they hit. Does this mean that they just get another little slap, add to the probation?
Well, you can only get sent, I mean, just put on my legal hat for a minute. You can only get sent, look out, jailhouse lawyer. You can only get sentenced to something if you violate something that has been suspended. Now, if you have a 5-year jail sentence suspended, but we're going to give you 28 days in actual jail time plus probation or whatever. And now this is, which is so ironic, if you listen to the word probation. Now, see, when it comes to jail is usually accompanied by parole. They go into jail. I don't care if you're going to jail for 1 day. When you come out of jail, and now that you're on the custody of the state, that's what will be parole. Parole is what couples with jail time. You come out of jail, you go on parole. Probation could be given to a doctor that slaps his wife. You know what I mean? Or somebody that's in a domestic situation. They can go on, you know, probation.
Probation is more like just a warning.
No, probation is just a different level of law. It's a different level. Parole, when you have a parole officer, that's a cop. When you on probation, that could be just a person who works for a state in a suit. You know, they're still connected to law enforcement, but they're more prone to come by your house, checking out your stuff, yada yada yada. But when you're on parole, you know, you're like, you know, the cops knock on your door. Hey, your parole officer, open the door. So they're going to jail. So why are they not having 3 years of parole as opposed to probation? That's the question on
Well,
it.
that just shows how mild the sentence was.
Right,
I'm
but
sorry,
let
go ahead,
me
Ketel.
just read the definition on the probation. The release of an offender from detention, subject to a period of good behavior under supervision. So apparently they're going to be looking at these guys under the microscope. And like I said, if something happens within that probation period, they're probably going to go back to jail or go to jail.
Yeah, but see, the key word you said was detention, and that's because they had such a soft sentence. See, when you go for 5 years in jail, now you're a criminal. You have a felony on your record, and you come out of jail now you're going parole because you're a felon. So they're calling this thing. I mean, and does it say what not the charge was a misdemeanor or a felony? What are they calling that? I don't know if you've seen that particular situation.
One was tampering with evidence, evidence and hazing, obstructing official business. So those are different charges.
But were those charges considered a misdemeanor or a felony?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
Yeah.
More
That's a good
likely
question.
it's a felony. If they're going to jail period, more likely it's a felony. And that's the thing that you want, though. If you ever get busted, you really want to try to get it knocked down to a misdemeanor. Because once you get a felony, and you get convicted of a felony, you can't vote. You can't vote. Now you got to check that box on the application. Have you ever been yada, 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 convicted of a crime? Boom. But as a misdemeanor, you can bypass that question because your background check will be a lot lighter when it comes to a misdemeanor. But anyway, we'll get off that soapbox. Anyway, got any questions? Any questions or comments? You're welcome to call in. If you already called in, you can press 1 and you'll be put in the queue. Speak your mind. Any subject you want to talk about, we're wide open. We don't really have no particular type of, this is a late night talk show, so we can talk about anything.
All right. So I want to talk about this shooting in Alabama.
Okay.
To add to the list of all of the mass shootings lately. This time, it was a 70-year-old man who shot 3 senior citizens at an Alabama church group meeting. They were actually having a potluck dinner. This happened on yesterday. But the culprit was a 70-year-old man. I mean, in the past, we've been hearing 18, 17, young people. But this dude was 70. Well, is, because he was taken, he was captured. He wasn't shot. He had a black eye, but he still was taken alive. He's now in custody, and he shot Walter Rainey, who was 84, Sarah Yeager, who was 75, and this was at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Vestavia Hills, right outside of Birmingham in Alabama. A third victim, 84-year-old woman whose family didn't want her name to be put out there, died in the hospital today. So now you got 3 people who he killed. And, they're still trying to determine, what was the problem? Because they said that he would come to this church from time to time to participate in the services. So I don't really know what his issue was. But somebody there who was at the potluck dinner subdued him and held him down until the police arrived. And that was around 6:22 on yesterday when this happened. The Jefferson County District Attorney today said that warrants were issued against Smith, the man who did it, for the capital murder of 2 or more persons. Now it's 3. And he's being held in the county jail without bail. So, of course, they're saying, after they do the investigation at this point, they believe that he acted alone, and they're trying to determine, what was the motive. Nobody is clear yet on why did he go into this church and shoot people like that and kill people. So, as you know, this is the latest in the string of shootings that's been going on. There was another church shooting that happened at an African Methodist Episcopal church in Charlestown. Gosh, when was that? That was years ago, because I think they said this one happened around the 7th anniversary of that shooting.
You mean the one in Charlotte? I mean in South Carolina, not Charlotte, but in Charleston.
Charleston.
South Carolina.
I thought that's what I said. Okay, if I misspoke, Charleston, South Carolina.
Right.
That's where that one happened, and that was about 7 years ago. And there was another one at a Taiwanese church in Southern California. That was last month. And then, of course, the one in Texas at Uvalde, and the supermarket shooting in Buffalo, and, that list just goes on and on. So, of course, people are now, once again, saying that they want to see some kind of safety legislation around guns, gun control or something to happen to try to, cut this stuff out. I know you can't eliminate people possessing guns, but, people are saying enough is enough.
Right.
And this is just too much. This was elderly people. One of these women died in the arms of her husband, who had been married for 60 years. She died in her husband's arm, whispering to him that she loved him.
Wow.
I mean, this stuff is just brutal.
Yeah, it is.
Brutal. They've been married 60 years, and for her to have her life taken at a church potluck dinner, they weren't bothering anybody.
Mhm.
But I've noticed in churches lately that they are beefing up their security. It's like they have security at the door, and that's sad. Who would ever think that we would need security this day and age in a church? You go in there to, to pray and do whatever you need to do and fellowship and everything, but no one would ever think that. So, it's like
that's where we are as a Christian.
Yeah, I just hope we don't get to a point where, they have the detectors and stuff like they have in the schools at the churches. Because it's like, okay, where can we go? We can't go anywhere.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's coming down to that, really.
It's like you're not safe anywhere. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the movies. Remember that shooting with the dude with the orange hair? Shot and killed people at the movie theater. Can't go to church in peace.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that we have to stop focusing on the pandemic and understand what's the latest news. The latest news is that people are shooting up places. So let's put our mind in the right place. Sometimes I don't understand how things are being held on to for so long, because everything has to be cubbyholed in its own way. People still, when 9/11 comes around, as tragic as that situation was, and they've been honored for the last 20 years, as you've seen. They just had a 20-year celebration on that. And that's all well and good, and for them to never forget the situation of that. But we also have to never forget other things that happened in this world that affected other generations of people. Pearl Harbor and things like that, things that affected people that were my father's age and things like that. We need to understand that needs to be never forgot, because sometimes you'll have September 7th go by without a whisper. And unless you heard on the news saying, today is the 50-year anniversary of, or now is almost a 70th year anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And people forget about that, and more people died in Pearl Harbor than they did in 9/11. And you're not trying to put any particular tragedy on a pedestal, but they all have to find their own particular cubbyhole of memorialization, if there's such a word, and be there in that memory. But sometimes it seems like 9/11 just goes so overboard when it comes up. It's not overboard, but it's just they forget other tragedies, other situations. And I use Pearl Harbor as a gallant example, because that was a vicious day. And then storming the beaches of Normandy in World War II, another day where a ton of people were killed trying to storm the German beaches. When the Germans were shooting at them, they were getting off the boat, going up on the beach, the gun bullets just coming at them. Between Normandy and Pearl Harbor, my goodness, we should never forget those two occasions there itself. So But anyway, that was just a tag along on your situation with things that we should remember. Like you're saying, that's the anniversary of the Charleston, South Carolina situation. Right. And the shooter probably knew that. So you never know people's motives because people just lost their mind today. But this story here that I have, man, I tell you, I don't want to get emotional with this, but this just shows me how stupid white people can be, okay? They could be, and I say they, I'm speaking of the chosen few that choose to be foolish, you know? They will do an exact crime that was done by somebody else. Now, either you wasn't watching the damn news, or your head is either in the sand or up your ass, one of the two. Okay? Now, this is the situation of two white, they call it a racial arrest after a violent confrontation with a black teen. Okay? Now, picture this. Let me give you the roundabout story on this. Now, this teen was only 16 years old, apparently driving his parents' car, you know, which is a new, I think it's a Mercedes. I'll get to that. But he's riding to go over his friend's house to spend the night. And he's in Sanford, Florida, the same place where Trayvon Martin was killed. Sanford, Florida. And using the old battle cry of white folks, you're in my neighborhood. Okay, well, here's the deal. When you look at the deed of your house, all you own is the land that you paid for. Okay?
Okay. Now.
That's it. You don't own the street. You don't even own the payment that's adjacent to your property. You own the property that's connected to your property, the payment that's connected to your property. So if the cement breaks, you got to fix it. But if there's a extension of your property that now belongs to the county or the city or whatever, then that doesn't belong to you. So when people say my neighborhood, I'm like, give me a break. You know, it's just so interesting that, you know, and just let me just give a little footnote that I learned from my father years ago, where, you know, when the World War II veterans came out of World War II with the GI Bill, as I mentioned before, they weren't allowed to buy houses in the suburbs because it was so racist. So they had to live in the city. You know, that's why we're so dominant, as I said before, in Philadelphia. We're so dominant in Harlem. We're so dominant in all these places that have to do with the inner city. We weren't allowed to move to Bristol, Pennsylvania, or wasn't allowed to move to Levittown, New York, or Long Island. That's why we're so dominant in Brooklyn and things like that. But now white folks want to come back to Brooklyn, and they will come to the inner city because they don't want the propane tank no more. They want to be connected to the gas company and electric company. You know, they don't want to, you know, send a key up a kite like Ben Franklin to get some electricity or put a propane tank in the yard to get some gas, you know. I mean, I'm making jokes, but the whole thing I'm saying when I get into the story is that this is not your neighborhood. And a lot of these white folks that live in these neighborhoods because when their parents came out of World War II, like my parents, they was able to buy in these suburban neighborhoods. So they brought these houses for a nickel and a song. And now these big-ass houses in the neighborhood are worth $500,000-$600,000. But they only paid $2,000-$3,000 for it. So now they want to hold on to it because they know the house wasn't worth that when their parents brought it. Half the people that are living in these suburban areas now, their parents are dead. Their grandparents are dead. So now you're trying to take possession of something that you didn't buy from the beginning. That was left to you as an inheritance. So how are you raising a flag saying this is mine when your mama and your grandmama left it to you? Really?
Well.
Okay, come on. Okay, now I just said that little preempt to let you know how this story here, and I don't mean to get emotional, but this stuff kind of pisses me off. Anyway, Sanford, Florida, same place that Trayvon Martin was killed, and let's talk about your boy Ahmaud Arbery. Okay, how much did these white guys get? Life in prison for claiming the neighborhood. Now, you would think that if you've seen the Ahmaud Arbery trial, that you wouldn't do the same thing that them jokers did to Ahmaud Arbery. But they did. Here's the story. Two white men in Sanford, Florida was arrested after a black teenager said he was racially profiled. Racially profiled not by the cops, but two white guys in the neighborhood. And his car was hit with a rock while driving through their neighborhood. Their neighborhood. Now, Howard Hughes, what a name, 61 years old, and Donald Corset, 52, allegedly damaged a white Mercedes driven by a 16-year-old Jermaine Jones. Now, he's 16-year-old, so that Mercedes, which was new, I saw it on the news, probably belonged to his parents. They let their loving son drive their car, okay? He recorded the aftermath of the incident on his phone and posted the footage to Instagram. Just so he could have history. So thank goodness the brother has good social consciousness to put it out there, whatever. The white guys was yelling, "Get out of my neighborhood." The men could be heard yelling during a tense confrontation, according to the teenager. They were burning out of rage through my. He said, "Get your racist ass out of my effing neighborhood." Okay. So they shattered the car window that you can see in this video. There's another person named Bailey Kennedy who was 15 years old. He was in the car also as a passenger. The teens reported heading to a friend's house so they could spend the night. Now they going to a sleepover. 16 and 15-year-old kids in a new Mercedes being confronted by old white guys 61 and 52 years old. Okay?
That's crazy.
All right. And I say I was racially profiled while driving through my friend's neighborhood. Now, their friend lived in the same damn neighborhood. So you white guys don't realize that niggars are living around the corner from you. Or did you know that? And probably Middle Eastern, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Spanish, and everything else is living in the same neighborhood. Maybe the block you live on is all white, but I got news for you. You know, this is Rainbow Coalition here. Anyway, so to make a long story short, these guys was confronted by these guys. They busted up their windows, threw rocks at their cars and everything, all in that situation with that. This guy, Corset, he faces felony charges. Like I said before, the difference between crimes in court is felony and misdemeanor. Corset, he's the one that's 52 years old. He faces felony charges for damage of property and hitting the vehicle with a weapon, while Hughes, he's charged with a felony property damage and misdemeanor battery. Now, notice the word, misdemeanor battery. Means you hit him or whatever you did to the boy, but they're dropping it down to a misdemeanor. Whenever you see the word misdemeanor, it's a drop down, okay? It's a drop down. Felony is the top joint. Misdemeanor is a drop down. You can beat that by, fines or whatever. Usually you don't go to jail for a misdemeanor. Anyway, this happened in, what's it called, Seminole County? And this guy, Hughes, is 61. He allegedly hit one of the teens with a traffic cone, according to the news reports and all that. But what I'm saying in a nutshell is that, and I'm going to close it with this. I don't mean to stay on the soapbox long. Did these two white guys actually see the Ahmaud Arbery trial? Or was your head in the sand or up your ass when the trial was going on? And all three of those guys, even the one that was filming, got life in prison. So why would you do a crime just like them? Damn, y'all some dumbass white folks. Lord have mercy. Anyway.
They don't
That's all I got
care,
to say about
Papa. They don't care.
Yeah, well, they just ain't watching the news or something. Yeah, I understand, but whew.
They don't care.
Pissed.
And how long was that Ahmaud Arbery trial? Weeks.
Yeah, that went on and on.
Was your cable turned off or something? Did you not see the news? And now you're gonna do the exact thing that they did in the same neighborhood where Trayvon Martin was killed. Lord have mercy.
Well, they were pissed because they said that this young man was like speeding or racing, burning rubber or something through their neighborhood, and they got tired of it, and this is the way they dealt with it.
Let me tell you.
I'm like, well, then why don't you just call the police and report it, get the tag number if that's really what you want to do. Well, you know what? Let me. But how you going to go out and confront a child, a kid, and curse him out?
Right.
Take the rock and bust the windshield.
because
kids could have been injured.
Because they don't think that we're connected to anything. Sometimes white folks white cops don't turn their own white counterparts in because they think they may have a great lawyer and they may lose their job as a cop. But they don't think that blacks are connected to nothing. You know, they could throw it was a stolen car or whatever. But like you were saying on that situation,
I mean, it just boggles the mind that people still, like you said, like you didn't see the months of coverage on the Arbery case.
On the Arbery case, that
make
case
you go,
went on for
maybe
months.
this is not a good idea.
Yeah, and they all got life in prison. You know.
No, like
anyway.
I say, they don't care. In my opinion, it's just like the January 6th thing. Those people that came in that Capitol, they talk about democracy, the Fifth Amendment, yada yada. You can't respect the Constitution. You can't. There's no way. They just don't care. If things don't go their way, then they're going to do whatever it takes, what necessary has to do. And that's what they did. This young boy came in their space, just like the Arbery case.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're going to protect it any means necessary. And if it means what I have to do or go to jail, they don't give a rat's rabbit's ass. They really don't. So that's the bottom line. That's sad, but that's the bottom line.
Wow.
All right. You guys got any questions or comments? Hit us up tonight, 914-803-4306. And press 1.
Press 1. If you're already online, if you already listen on the phone, just press 1 on your phone. You'll be put in our queue, and you can speak your mind. You can talk to us, just say hello to me or Redwine or...
Yeah.
You know, you might want to say hello to me. I'm just so drop dead handsome I can't.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, is it cocktail
ready to go to the
time?
cocktail? Yes, it is,
indeed.
because I need one. I'm sweating bullets, so I need one.
Yeah, what's the cocktail of the week?
What you got for us, Ketel?
It's called the Angry Snap cocktail. So, check this out. It has 6 ounces of Angry Orchard, unfiltered. That's why I call it Angry Snap. 1 ounce of Crown Apple whiskey. If you like Crown Apple whiskey, you might want to do 2 ounces, but it says 1. 0.5 ounces of a ginger liqueur, which is very good. 1 teaspoon of ginger snap cookies. That's the garnish, and 2 rosemary sprigs. Man, I want the rosemary Papa. I know you do. So we're going to use the ginger snap cookies to rim the glass. So we're going to crush up the ginger snaps, put that on the rim of the glass.
Fancy.
Yeah. Then in a mixing glass, add 1 rosemary sprig, ginger liqueur, and apple whiskey. We're going to cover that with ice and shake. Then add the Angry Orchid to the shaking tin. We're going to strain over and ice glass, and we're going to garnish it with the rosemary sprigs. That's optional if you like. So, and that is the Angry Snap cocktail.
The Angry Snap?
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
I'm sorry. I thought it was the apple, but it's angry because of the Angry Orchard. It's a, apple flavored taste on the Angry Orchard. Yeah, that's the apple taste.
All right, got it.
Yeah, Angry Snap.
All right.
That's really interesting. You said to rim the glass with a ginger snap.
Yeah.
That's one of my.
Crush it up good.
That's one of my favorite cookies, but I like it with a tall glass of milk. But
wow. Okay.
Well,
yeah, ginger snaps are good to dunk in milk, and one of my favorite cookies is the orange box. The at Halloween the spice wafers. Whew. I can OD on those.
Okay.
But it's got to be around Halloween in a little square orange box. That's old school. Spice wafers. Oh, Lord. Give me that and a gallon of milk, and I can OD on that.
All right.
Anyway, we're going to take a little break. We'll take a CC break, as we call it, and I'll come back with my What's Poppin'.
All right. We'll do that. On the other side of the break, it'll be Poppa DD and What's Poppin'. And in case you didn't know, you're listening to the Pajama Party Show. We do it every Friday night on Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for hanging out with us. And somebody cue up the commercial. I'm just filling time until they cue out the commercial. How you doing tonight, Poppa DD?
Who do we hire? We got to give them a raise.
Good luck with that. All right. They're trying to get it together. All right, here we go.
This is Ketel.
And this is Redwine.
If you like news, but you like the weirdest kind,
you're in the right place. Join us every Friday night
for the Pajama Party Weird News.
We find stories each week about some of the strangest and oddest news stories around.
If there's ghosts driving, stupid criminals getting caught, or just bizarre medical stories,
we report it right here on the Pajama Party Weird News.
It's funny and informative, and we look forward to it every week.
And you will too.
If you like weird news like we do,
join us every Friday night on the Pajama Party Show.
It's a weird world out there, and we'll tell you all about it.
Right here on the Weird News,
where we celebrate the weirdness.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right.
All right, Poppa DD.
Yeah.
What's poppin'?
Well, for this segment here, the biggest thing I've been seeing lately, that's why I say everything after a while needs to be cubbyholed. Because what I've been seeing lately is just customer service is horrible today. And, people are hiring people on a wean, because a lot of people are retiring, and things like that. And good, talented people are moving on. And as you go in these different stores and businesses and everything, customer service is at an all-time. And when I say customer service, I'm talking about attitude as well. See, the one thing that I think a lot of these bosses don't teach their employees at these businesses, and I'm talking multi-million-dollar businesses, okay? I'll get into my own experiences here in a moment. I'm talking multi-million-dollar businesses. The one thing they don't, and sometimes I wonder how that person get a job from the beginning there. Anyway, they don't teach them to be cordial. You have to check your attitude at the door. You know what I mean? If you're an asshole and a jerk off, and you're brand new at a company, you can't bring that to the company. And some of them are so new that they're not even there they're not even past their 90-day probation period if the job has a probation time. They're just there. And when you go to the counter or ask somebody something, the first thing people give you is the attitude that they would have out in the street with their friends and family when they're off work. They come on to you hard. I mean, over the last few days, and let me see, 1, 2, I think in all 3 incidents, let me see, it was the mail lady, it was UPS, and I had one more situation. I can't think of that. We'll focus on the mail lady and UPS. These were both black women, young black women. No disrespect to my sisters, but damn, check your attitude at the door. Nobody cares what you're going through with your life, your family, your baby mama drama, whatever. Your husband, your boyfriend, your significant other, your girlfriend, whatever you're going through, that's your business. And you got to stop taking it personal when people say something, because as an older person as myself, a person is, worldly. I've been here and there and everywhere, And when I come somewhere, the first thing I'm trying to do is lay my wits on you, because I have a plethora of knowledge that I just want to share. And sometimes when I try to share with these young people, man, they think I'm trying to be smart or facetious or arrogant, or, they just think that I'm just trying to teach them something because their mom and daddy ain't teach them crap. So they think I'm taking on the role of one of their parents or something or whatever, And it's so sad the way people come back at you. You know, the postal lady, let's talk about her. Okay, I went up to Jersey. This happened today, as a matter of fact. Went up to Jersey. I'm not going to say where I went because that's my business. Went up to Jersey to my house, and I got a little bogus email that I had a package delivered that morning. Apparently, it must have been a bogus thing. You know, there's so much crap that comes on your phone saying, oh, package was delivered, yada, yada, yada. And it wasn't delivered. But the girl who was working the job today, she said she was a fill-in. But I asked her, did she deliver a package? I ain't living no package. Came off just strong from the beginning. Now, here I had been landscaping back in my yard. Okay, I got my gear on, you know. So I don't know if she had black man syndrome. You know, she didn't see a regular black guy. I had my towel on my head and my safety glasses, and I had my weed whacker in my hand and all that. I was geared up as a landscaper. You know what I mean? So I don't know what she saw or how she perceived me. See, the biggest thing we have to see in life is how we're being perceived. You know what I mean? Especially black men. You know, people see us and it's almost like if we ain't got a damn tie on, they don't give a crap. You know. And the woman just kind of like, just all this little attitude. So I said, well, I showed her the email. I said, well, we ain't anybody ever at that time. And she was just, there was no greeting or there was no love. And not you got to give me love, but she showed me nothing that would have me embrace her as my mail carrier. You know what I mean? I might as well have Freddy Krueger deliver my damn mail. Okay? She was evil as crap. So whatever's going on in your life, please, you got a mailbag on your hand. Leave your bullshit at your own home when you got my mail in your bag, or you representing the government as a postal employee. But attitude all day. Now, anyway, she said, well, did you get the pink or the yellow slip? I said, you mean the 3849? And that fucked her up right there. Excuse my language. I just cursed to make my story sound better. She said, well, what are you talking about? I said, when I was in the Navy, postal clerk was my job. I was on ships and I was a postal clerk. And the yellow and pink slips that they give you, the form number is a 3849. You got to have that. You got to know those form numbers in order to get your rank on your arm. You know, when you go up for your test to get more rank on your arm. So that was just a joke that I told her. Boy, that flew over her head like a 747. She couldn't catch none of that. I'm like, damn. I mean, she was so cold-blooded, it wasn't funny. Okay, now let me get into this next one, and I'll keep it brief. I rented a U-Haul truck last weekend to move some stuff around, and I went to take the truck back to the U-Haul. This young lady comes out with this red hairdo, you know, looks like she's fresh from a crack rehab, okay? And I mean that sincerely, because she was horrible, okay? She was horrible. She looked a mess. Her attitude out the door, she yelled at me, leave the key in the truck. Didn't say good morning, good afternoon, yada, yada, yada. Just walked out the door when I pulled the back open on the truck to see that I cleaned it and everything. You know, I kept the window, and I took my key with me. And I'm going to give everybody a piece of advice, okay? When you rent a U-Haul vehicle, remember, that vehicle belongs to you until you turn it in, okay? You're under contract with that vehicle. So when some little joker walk out the door and say, oh, leave your key, and they expect you to go in the building while you're leaving your key in that vehicle, somebody can steal that vehicle. And until you close that contract, you're still responsible for that vehicle. So watch how you give up that key to that vehicle, okay? And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to hand the key to you. That's what I say. I said leave it in the vehicle. Evil as hell. And like I said, I've seen recovering crack people, and she was one of them. No disrespect to the crack society, but she was one of them, okay? And then I go inside the place, and it's just a mess. She took my numbers and everything, and then I said, can I get a hard copy of my receipt? Because I don't trust you with the email or nothing because you're disrespectful as hell. So I don't expect you to be an IT genius at anything, okay? So I said, give me a hard copy of my stuff. She pulls the paper out here and just like threw it in my face. Here. I'm saying to myself, ain't this a bitch? Now, all I came up here to do was return a truck with my beautiful spirit that my mother and father have embraced in my bones. Love, consideration, loyalty, all kind of love, peace, and happiness. This girl comes out the door, and you could tell that she's a part-time piper, and she's going to throw all that crap at me. But, you know, being the black man I am, I know that if I go off on her, at the end of the day, when the cops show up, I'm going to be the one ending up in handcuffs, right? Because I'm a black man making a scene at a U-Haul establishment, so my black ass is going to jail. So I foresee that. So I dealt with her ass. When she gave me the receipt, I looked at it, and the mileage was right, the gas was right, the price was right. I got the hell out of there. And this is how you got to handle it. But I just want to say this in closing. Customer service nowadays is so crappy, it is not even funny. And how did this girl, with her state of mind and her anger, even get that job with U-Haul from the beginning? And the sister at the house with the mail. How did she get that job from the beginning with her attitude? Come on. Did the pandemic just tell people to hire a bunch of losers? And I'm not disrespecting nobody. You got to work somewhere and do something. But damn. Anyway, I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it. And this all happened in the last 4 or 5 days in a row. I'm like, wow. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm going to chime in and say I do believe that during the pandemic and all the what they call the Great Resignation, with so many people who resigned their job, retired. Don't forget about retirement. I said retired. Mm-hmm. Retired, resigned, quit, walked off, just said the heck with it, and threw their hands up. Employers have been like on a hiring binge.
They're desperate.
And they are desperate.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, if you got a post and you can sit upright, walk upright, and halfway get the job done, you can pretty much get a job. So things are getting kind of dicey out here now.
What do you think about that, Ketel? You awful quiet over there. What's going on?
Yeah, you're right. Customer service is down the pot. I agree with you. But you know what? I've learned those places that have customer service, like you said, I just don't frequent them. And if I get attitude, I just won't purchase anything. I'm like, okay, I don't have to deal with this. I'm going to push on. I'll go somewhere else. I can get it from somewhere else. So I try to keep myself in a certain environment that I don't have to deal with BS. And a lot of times, I'm learning to go early. I've never been an early bird person, but, hey, I've learned to go places early. Nobody's in there. Get in and out. You ain't got to deal with nobody. And if I have to deal with something going on as far as customer service with the cashier, I don't even talk to them. They're peons, so I go to a manager. I say, can I speak with the manager?
Yeah.
They say, I'm the manager. I don't want to talk to you. There's somebody higher than you. Let me talk to somebody else. So I just don't.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a manager lie.
You're right. Yeah, because when I go to Walmart, you're right. Cause Walmart opens up at 6 a.m. and I go to Walmart early. I try to be out of Walmart before the pharmacy opens at 9. If I'm in Walmart and I see them pulling the shades up to open up the pharmacy, I said, damn, I need to get out of here. Because after 9 o'clock, after 10 o'clock, Walmart gets a whole nother level of customers in there, boy.
There you go.
And the outfits that they wear.
Oh, my God.
You can sit in Walmart and... Woo!
Walmart has like the freak parade going on in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen everything.
Is that what they had?
Oh, you telling me you haven't seen them?
I've seen everything from a bear suit to a cat suit walking that front door.
Wow.
It's just, yeah, Walmart's a mess. You can.
I mean, from people in their pajamas.
Pajama, yeah.
I've seen people come in there with.
Yeah, well.
No, the one that got me was this lady that had pajama pants on with some of those rubber galoshes boots. I was like, girl, where you going?
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
And you know what, too? Most of your Walmarts have a Subway in the front So you can sit down and get you a sandwich, and it's almost like you watching TV. Because the Subway sandwich in Walmart is right by the door. I could be eating a tuna sandwich from Walmart. It's like I'm watching TV, but the outfits coming in, and people is wearing stuff. Titties is hanging down. Asses is out. It's just
people coming there with stuff that's like 3 sizes too small.
Yeah.
Spilling out the top, spilling out the bottom.
But what about the shoes they wear? They wear like slippers or those Uggs.
Oh, please.
I'm like, it's 90 degrees and you wearing Uggs.
Like, yo.
Exactly.
Walmart.
You in Uggs
when I see people, when I see people in Walmart sometime in the morning, it's like, don't wash your hair. Don't wash your face. Don't just get out. Don't comb your hair. Just go in the store and get what you got to get. It's amazing. But I learned to accept it. I'm not talking about it because it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining.
Speaking of weird things.
Anyway, what we got going on? Let's lighten it up with some weird news.
We're going to lighten it up and shift gears with
All right. Yeah, lighten it up. Lighten it up.
No
more Uggs in the summertime. All right.
What you got?
I'm up first. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I got one about a glass bar dangling over a canyon in Georgia. And this is not Georgia State. This is the country, Georgia. Way over on the other side, Georgia.
In Russia? Russia's Georgia?
No, it's like over by Israel. That part of that Georgia. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, they've got a 787-foot steel and glass bridge with a diamond-shaped bar suspended in the middle of it. They just unveiled it in the Dashbashi Canyon, which is about a 2-hour drive from the capital city of Tbilisi in southern Georgia. And that was earlier this week. This thing was constructed by an investment group, Cass Group, which operates in Israel and Georgia. The thing is transparent. So you're hanging up in 787 feet over a canyon in a diamond-shaped glass bar to go out there and get a drink. I saw a picture of this thing, and there was somebody on a bicycle. I don't know how they got I guess they looked like they had a wire connecting them, holding on to them or something. But, people go out on this thing and to get up in this diamond-shaped bar. I'm like, man, you could not pay me to go up in this thing. And it's not like a ride. You just have to go however you get up to the either side, and then you go across the bridge, which is glass and steel. So you're feeling like you're about to drop to your death, walking across something that you can see straight through, 787 feet up, just to have a drink. I'm like, what are y'all serving up in that joint? It must be some real good stuff to twist you like you ain't never been twisted to get you up on this. But they spent $40 million building this thing. It took them 3 years. The bar has at least 3 levels within this diamond-shaped thing, and they're hoping that it'll be a tourist attraction, that people will want to come to this area just so they can experience the suspended bar. I'm like, you know what? Y'all can have that. I'd be like that Geico commercial when that man walks in the attic and all of those mannequins are up there. And that man said, nope, no thank you. He walked away. I said, nah, not for me.
Okay.
You see this?
You said it's over what now? Is it over some canyon or something? I don't understand.
It's a canyon.
She showed a picture
it's
of it.
It's a 787 feet up in the air, glass bridge and made with glass and steel, and it's over a big canyon. So it's like, instead of it being a bridge you drive across, it's a glass and steel bridge, basically. And then it's this diamond-shaped bar in the center of it that's just suspended.
No thanks.
Wow.
Exactly. No, thank you.
Okay. It's my turn.
All right.
Continue with the weird news. We're lighting it up because y'all stories can get kind of hectic early on, so we throw the weird news in the middle, lighten up a little bit. I'm going to talk about a man who says he spent $8,500 a year on Pepsi addiction.
Pepsi addiction.
Pepsi addiction. Oh yeah, I knew some people in my life that will remain nameless that they drank them sodas as well. Oh yeah, one of my neighbors coming up, she was an avid
soda drinker like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
they will remain nameless. Like in the show Dragnet, the names were changed to protect the innocent.
Okay.
Anyway, this man said he spent $8,500 a year on a Pepsi addiction. Okay. He was a supermarket worker. Okay, so he had access.
Yeah, okay.
You like that, huh? Supermarket workers spent $8,500 a year on guzzling 30 cans of Pepsi a day. For 2 decades, 20 years. All right? Said he's been cured after he was hypnotized.
Wow.
His name was Andy Curry. He's 41 years old. He downed a liter of the fuzzy drink every morning and drank a future 9 liters in the course of the day of Pepsi. You know, it's amazing about that. Now, mind you, Coke and Pepsi, if you got an addiction like that, it's got to be cold. Because it's something about that burn, from what I've heard from Pepsi and Coke drinkers. That cold burn. Yeah, I don't, please. The cold burn that goes down your throat. Okay. He has sipped and estimated, now check this out, which is crazy, 219,000 cans of Pepsi, nearly which breaks down to nearly 18,000 pounds of sugar.
God. Which
is equivalent to like 7 million sugar cubes that he has eaten, just eaten whole sugar cubes for the last 20 years.
My God.
All right. 18,000 pounds of sugar, which is equivalent to, if you want to take it in cube fashion, 7 million little cubes of, they don't have cubes of sugar. That's old school. People put a cube of sugar in there.
They probably coffee. Still around.
Well, I'm just saying, but old school people would do it like
that's
regularly.
That's a lot of sugar.
Anyway, yeah, so anyway, Kerry, he's married to a woman named Sarah. Now, they don't mention whether or not Sarah's in the Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, or whatever. But he's married to Sarah. Sarah's 39 years old, and she says he spends $25 a day on Pepsi, which amounts to about $8,500 a year. So Kerry decided to take drastic action after he ballooned to 366 pounds.
Whoa.
Okay? And his doctor warned him that he is at risk of becoming a diabetic. Well, hell, at 366, you already are a diabetic.
Wow.
Quiet as it's kept, okay? The doctors just try to mess with your head. Anyway, so through exercise and diet, he managed to lose like 28 pounds and all that jazz. But he couldn't stop drinking the Pepsi. He started exercising because he was getting crazy with his diabetes and all that jazz. So he contacted a London-based therapist, a guy named David Curry, who identified Kerry as having what's called ARFID, Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. And the acronym is ARFID. Okay? ARFID, yeah. Everything has an acronym. Anyway, amazingly, after just one online hypnotic session, Kerry was cured, and for the first time in 20 years, he drank his first cold bottle of water. This monkey, he was drinking some of his Pepsi. He never drank any water.
Wait Damn. He got hypnotized online?
Online, one time. And he said that he was cured, and he drank a cold bottle of water for the first time in 2 decades. Now, this is weird news. Is this true or is this fiction?
That's what they said.
Anyway, in just 4 weeks, they said in 4 weeks he dropped 44 pounds, and he's remarkably more healthy. He said he met with David online, and he hypnotized him for about 40 minutes. I don't know what he did, but afterwards, I just don't want to drink nothing but water anymore. So that's the moral to that story.
Wow.
Which is deep.
Wow.
So,
That man said too.
I don't know.
Okay. So you Pepsi lovers out there, shit.
Yeah, you better ease up.
And Coke. Don't leave Coke out. That's another
Yeah.
sugar-bound,
So
Yeah,
okay, this is the elephant in the room. So which one you guys like, Pepsi or Coke? Which one do you like?
If I drink a cola, I do like Pepsi, but I don't drink them that often. It's rare when I have a cola drink.
Pepsi does have a better taste, in my opinion. But now at my age, if I do drink Coke, it's the Coke Zero, the dark can. You know, because I don't want to. You know,
you don't want all that sugar.
Yeah, I came near that diabetes thing, and now that I have that under control, I don't want to go in that territory anymore.
So you just not in the running, Pepsi or Coke. So that's zero. Okay, you're not even in the running.
Yeah, zero. Yeah, Coke Zero in the black can.
Which one is yours?
But you know what though? I say that
I'm on the fence. You know I like both.
Oh my God, I'm on the fence.
But I say that as I'm sipping brown liquor, which is sugar based to the max. But at least it makes my head it gets my head right. So I guess it's compromise.
All right, Ketel.
This last weird news here. New Hampshire distillery turns invasive crabs into whiskey. Wow. Okay. New Hampshire distillery unveiled a new whiskey with an unusual key ingredient: invasive green crabs. This distillery said it teamed up with the University of New Hampshire crab project to develop a House of Tamworth Crab Trapper, which is billed as being made with a bourbon base, still with a custom crab, corn, and spice blend mixture. Damn, that's a whole lot. Shit. The owner of the distillery said the developers boiled more than 90 pounds of the tiny crabs into a crab stock that was then fortified with Tamworth-made natural grain spirits and distilled on a rotary vacuum. Okay. It has crab on the nose for certain. He said the taste is like a briny and better fireball. The crabs used for the liquor came from a Seabrook, New Hampshire trapper. Green crabs are native to Europe and are considered an invasive threat to the New England ecosystem. He goes on to say, we are raising awareness of the problem in a way that is fun and interesting, but it also shows that through creativity and gumption, we can turn these pesky critters into a tasty treat. Okay.
Wow.
He said we want more brave souls in the culinary arts to rise to the challenge. Defeat the enemy by eating them. Okay.
Huh. So that's how to defeat the enemy? Eat them? Okay.
That's interesting. So these crabs are smaller. That's what it sounds like. And green. Never heard of them or seen them. So, okay.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what these crabs look like.
Yeah. I don't think I want to know. No, thank you. So
they're actually selling. They're selling this crab whiskey?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to buy some?
How much is it? Did they say it?
$50 a fifth.
50? No, I think I'll pass.
I'm joking. I don't know shit.
Oh, I was just curious.
It doesn't say. But, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well.
Wow. Well, that wraps up the weird news for tonight.
Yes, it does. Interesting. So if you guys got any questions or comments, hit us up tonight, 914-803-4306.
And press 1.
You're getting the cue.
All right.
So we're going to take a little CC and we're going to keep going with you, Redwine. What's up?
Oh, take a break. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with I'm just saying, on the other side of the break on the Pajama Party Show.
Living just enough for the city.
Okay, but why are we doing Stevie Wonder? I thought we were doing Pajama Party.
Well, I was talking about my little one of my segments of Living for the City.
Join the party.
Now you ride me.
That's every Friday night at 9. Pajama Party. No clothes allowed.
Ketel and Redwine stepping on my parade. I had the mic first. And they're coming in just trying to,
It's my turn.
Oh, she's going to sing
What number to call?
Call us at 914
803
4306
and press 1.
And press 1 to be put into the queue. And say what you have to say. You can read off what we're talking about. Come up with a new subject of your own. We're liberal. We're easy. Eastern time. We're here 9 p.m. Friday nights. That's 6 o'clock West Coast. And maybe 7 o'clock in the mountains or in the
7 in the mountains.
Around Michigan and New Orleans and all that. We're like an hour back.
Yeah,
but 9 o'clock on the East Coast.
9:15 CP time.
CP time 9:15.
Don't be late when you listen to us. It's 9 o'clock on the dot.
That's right. Every Friday night.
We'll see you there.
Goodbye. All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of those Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right, we're going to go to Redwine's segment, which is called I'm Just Saying.
Thank you, Poppa DD. Merci beaucoup. Tonight, I'm just saying, come on, Clarence. I'm talking about Supreme Court Judge, Justice, whatever you want to call him, Clarence Thomas, your boy.
Your boy.
Now, his wife, Jenny, as you well know, Jenny got busy.
She's a mess.
Jenny got busy during the 2020 presidential election. Jenny got busy and started sending messages and emails to some of the Trump camp, Trump folks, one of Trump's lawyers, I think Mark Meadows. She just got busy. And she was trying to encourage all of these people to don't give up, push, do what you got to do. We got to win this election. She was basically saying, overturn the joint. Make it work. Trump needs to win. All of this kind of stuff. So she kept on pushing, sending all these messages out. And apparently, Jenny didn't think this was going to have any kind of impact on her husband or his position on the Supreme Court. Either that or she just didn't care.
She didn't care.
Yeah. So old girl was engaging in all kinds of covert messaging while allegedly old Clarence claims he didn't know nothing about nothing. He was like, I don't know what she was doing. I don't know what she was saying and all. I'm just saying, come on, Clarence. I agree with the New Jersey Representative Bill Pascrell, who is calling for Clarence to resign his seat on the highest court's bench. I'm just saying now, come on, Clarence. You've been compromised and you won't admit it. You have been the opposite of an asset, in my opinion, all the years you've been on the bench. So this would be a polite way for you to just bow out. You can blame it on your busy butt wife and just step off. Just go step off. And all the while that Jenny was doing all this stuff, Clarence Thomas was hearing litigation relating to the 2020 election. Now, don't you think that was what do you call it? A
compromise situation.
Yeah, I can't think of the other phrase, but yeah. Yeah, he should have just recused himself, but did he? No.
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, thank you.
Yeah.
But he didn't recuse himself. He just went right on with the case. I'm just saying, come on, Clarence. Come on, man. You ran your course. It's time for you to bow out. He didn't even recuse himself from the cases that were related to the January 6th riot cases. How blatant can you be? Your wife tried to help cheat the election in Trump's favor while you continue hearing cases about the people who tried to destroy the Capitol because of Trump. It's all one vicious circle. And you still want to sit right in the middle? How is that right? I'm just saying, come on, Clarence. It's time to give it up. like Marvin said, you got to give it up. Let it go. Your wife put the nails in that coffin, and the least you could do is to show a little dignity and a little respect for the job, a little grace, and just get on out of there. You, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you were always a disgrace, Clarence, in my opinion. So just call it a day. Just bounce. And keep an eye on your girl, Jenny, and make sure she's not messaging and emailing people against our democracy. Okay? Can you handle that? Because you sure ain't handled nothing while you were in that job. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying. Come on, Clarence. The jig is up, and the joke's on you.
Very good.
Big Bama.
Very good, Redwine. Very good. Very good.
Just saying, man, come on. Come on, man.
Come on, Clarence. Come on,
you know
Clarence.
what? I'm gonna go.
I like that
I'm
one.
gonna go right into my living for the city because.
Wait, we got a call. Before you do that, let's go to the line, pick up this caller, and then we'll go to you. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Pajama Party Show. You're on the air. Go ahead with your comment.
Hey.
Hey there.
Well, I'm a Pepsi drinker myself.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Here we go.
How many cans a day?
How many liters a day?
I don't drink that many liters. I may drink a bottle or two, depending on what I'm eating.
Okay.
All right, you better ease up on all that sugar.
I probably get it from my mother too.
Okay.
But talking about Clarence, Clarence needs to do something because if he don't, ain't no way he couldn't say that he didn't know his wife was there on January the 6th. Now, everybody knows where their wife is at. Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I say, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to fool?
Yeah. You know what? I cannot. They don't have kids together, do they?
I don't think there's no kids. We would have heard about the kids by now. I don't think there's.
I don't think there's no kids.
Kids don't hide in the closet, so we would have heard about kids because I've seen Barack's kids over there.
I was just wondering, you know what I mean? But
Nah.
Yeah, Clarence. I wonder how all this gonna turn out. Is Trump going to jail?
He needs to just go ahead and resign before it gets real ugly.
Yeah, but even with him, I'm saying, what they gonna do about Trump?
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Trump is just, we need to stop giving Trump so much glorification, if there's such a word. He's just a man of flesh, and he'll see his demise one day. We all do.
Know that, but well, what he did, all Americans need to take a look at that.
Oh yeah, that was heavy. But when you have people under control like that, see, the biggest part in life, caller, is the fact that 50% of the world always agrees or don't agree. No matter, you can come up with the best ideal about something in the world, especially on a job, and you present it to the job. 50% of the people on the job will be for it, and the other 50% will be like, I don't know. And those are the haters. Why is she submitting this? Why are you giving her a break? 50% is big time, and Trump has 50% of the world. As interesting as it is, that, what do you call it, the MAGA?
Yeah, MAGA.
The hat, what's it called? The Make America Great Again? The MAGA crowd is off the chain, man. It's off the chain. It's, what is it, 20, 31 million people?
I don't know, but he got it.
And they're giving him money every month. Direct deposits, he's getting $42 million. Oh, please. He's got them by the kahuna.
Yep.
Because they're ignorant. They don't know what else to do.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah, I was really surprised that that Putin and them was endorsing his was his co-signers for his loans and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow. Well, he's in bed with the enemy. He don't know no better.
Yeah. Well, we know that, but I'm just saying I would have never thought like that.
Yeah.
What they say, follow the money. Follow the money.
Yeah,
I see why he never showed this his taxes. And I
Oh,
believe
no.
he's broke.
Mhm.
Oh, he ain't real. Them white folks are taking care of him.
Yeah, they got a lot of mess with them. All right, we thank
Anyway.
you so much, caller.
Yeah, thanks for your call. We appreciate that.
And
All
you
right.
take it easy with those Pepsis now.
Yeah, I have to. But Mountain Dew got
Okay.
more sugar.
Oh, God. That's even
yeah,
worse.
Mountain
Don't
Dew's
even
rough.
mess with that one.
Yeah.
All right, now. Take
All right,
care.
y'all have a good night. Thanks for taking my call.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
In my segment of
Wait, hold on 1 second. I got one more line.
another call.
Yeah, let's do
They're
that.
gonna call.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Caller, you're on the line there. Hello. Uh-oh, kids in the background.
Uh-oh.
It's an adult show. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
All right, we're going to put you on hold, and we'll come back to you. Okay.
Anyway, kids, what's the always thing about kids? Their voice just pierces through anything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
When a kid's voice comes on, like, pew, they go through any frequency. It's amazing. I'm going to play on. I had another thing lined up for Living for the City, and I'll keep it short, Ketel, so we can get to your Hollywood wrap up. But just to play on Redwine's story with Clarence Thomas. This is a good thing to do. Now, remember years ago when he was going up for his job as a Supreme Court Justice, he was in a battle with Anita Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And she claimed, and which I believe, he was saying all this stuff about, is there a pubic hair in my Coke?
Yeah.
And all these different slang things, okay? He being all clever, suburban guy, clever, but then you end up marrying a white booger bear, okay? So I'm trying to say, hold up, bruh. When you was pushing up on Anita Hill in the office, that she was saying that you was pushing up on her, acting like you was, you know how bougie black men can be, you know what I mean, in the office. Especially if I had a few bougie black bosses in my career, just so tacky. They think they're this and that, whatever. And me being a West Philly guy, you know what I mean, you ain't got nothing on me. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn how much money you making. I could fuck around and sneak your wife out in the parking lot.
Oh,
anyway, that's just a footnote. Anyway, what I'm saying, I'm going to keep it real. I don't believe that he was talking all this stuff about Anita Hill, but then you're going to marry this white booger bear who is such a Republican Trump supporter. Now, it's not only that you have created yourself as a Uncle Tom, vicious Uncle Tom. You have just disassociated yourself with the black race. But now you have a wife who was supporting the January 6th situation,
Mm-hmm.
big time. She was all up in it. Stop the steal, la, 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 la. Now, where are you as a black man controlling this big white-ass woman who's actually controlling? And you know what gets me? You going to the court every day to do your thing as a Supreme Court Justice, and she ain't even got a motherfucking job.
Mm-mm.
Excuse the expression. She ain't got a job.
Nope.
So you're supporting her, and she's pro everything that she's allowed to be as a white woman. But you done sold yourself to the devil as a black man. So I'm trying to figure out, how does all that work when it comes to, you're baking the cake and you put the vanilla abstract in and you put the milk in and the eggs in. How's all that work when you start mixing all that up? I don't understand it. Anyway, boy, some of us, the web that we weave is unbelievable, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Unreal. Okay.
How you doing, Ketel? You out there, Ketel?
Yeah, I am.
Woo! Anyway,
There's a whole
this is the Adult Night Pajama Party, y'all. Every Friday night, 9 o'clock, 9:15 CP time. I'm Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel and Redwine. Are you ready to go to Hollywood, or you want to take a break?
No, come on with it. Come on with it.
You ready for it? All right, here we go. Let me use
ready.
my high, beautiful tenor voicing. Bring you into Hollywood. Hollywood, Hollywood. We have a low budget, so I gotta sing the entree of our.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Poppa DD.
Okay.
All
what you
right.
got going on?
If you guys don't already know, it's going down. It's the Martin reunion. The cast of the groundbreaking sitcom Martin celebrates the show's 30th anniversary. Wow.
30. Wow. Damn.
30 years with special guests. Yep. Snoop Dogg, Tracy Morgan, Leandre Johnson, Brian McKnight, and more. I forgot all these people were on the show. Also, Brother Man, I guess he's gonna show up. He's gonna come out the window, I guess. But that was an iconic show for sure. They were talking to Tommy Davidson on the radio a couple of days ago, and he said he made his guest appearance on there 27 years ago. I was like, wow. Yeah, but at that time, he did say that Martin, he seemed like he was kind of a difficult person because he was the quote-unquote, I guess, producer on the show, so he wanted to make sure everything was on point. And he was like, bossing people around. And so he's like, well, this is my show. I got to make sure everything's on point. And Tommy Davis is like, I got a show too. But I don't act like that in so many words, you know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
Anyway,
Ketel, as a footnote, Martin is an Aries like me, and I run this. So.
Okay.
Oh boy. Here we go.
He's an Aries, man. Aries, we're just we're crazy. We crazy as hell.
Look, and that's why he got in some hot water with Gina. He probably paid her well too, but they're good speaking terms. And she left the show early, remember that? He was trying to make advances to her, but anyway, I'm going to move on. Kenan Thompson filed for divorce from his estranged wife, Christina.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We talked about this before. 2 months after the news first broke, separation. Kenan is 43 and she's 33. She's a model.
Whoa.
Yep. They have 2 children, 2 girls. 7 and 4.
That's my man.
They tied the
been
knot
with Saturday Night Live
20. Right, they tied the knot in 2011. Like I said, they share 2 daughters, 7 and 4. But it seems like they want to go their separate ways. So more power to them. Good luck to them. She's a pretty girl. I'm not sure what happened with that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well.
Never know. Also, BET Awards is coming up, 2020. They got a big lineup. Chloe, Lizzo, of course. Our girl Taraji, she's going to host.
Really?
Kirk Franklin, Giveon, Ella May. Wow. Chance the rapper. I haven't heard from him in a while. Babyface.
Oh, they're all going to be there.
Yeah, so when, of course, P. Diddy, he'll be there. They're giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award. So, hey, more power to him. And that's going to be on Sunday, June 26th. Okay. Also, Tyler Perry donates $500,000 to the Apollo Theater as spring benefit raises a record $3.7 million.
Wow.
Why don't you just buy the building?
Apollo Theater? Why not?
Why not buy the building? What the hell you donating shit? Just buy the property. Anyway.
He should have just went in and just gave him $1 million. I mean, $500,000 ain't short. That's short of another $500,000.
Okay.
Right. So I mean that's good. At least he's giving back. Whoopi, all the big wigs were there. I guess they trying to maintain the Apollo Theater. Trying to keep it going. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Got to do what we got to do. Also, Mariah Carey, Neptunes, and Annie Lennox inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's what I say. Finally, because, since the pandemic, they had to put it on hold. So, it's that time. Yep. 439 total inductees into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Only 32 have been women. What? Wow, that's a lot. I know. All right, you got to pay the way. They've had people like Isley Brothers, Leslie Odom Jr., Questlove, John Batiste, Usher. Okay, that's what's up. All right.
That's nice.
They had their ceremony on Thursday, so we already had that. Okay. Last but not least, Jennifer Hudson. She announces her talk show. We talked about that before, but it's going to be official on her birthday. Yes. It's going to be coming about. Yep, September the 12th. Yep. Hudson is 40. I didn't realize she's that age. What? Wow.
How old is she?
Okay. 40.
She's 40?
So,
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the official day is September the 12th. That's her birthday. So
did
we're
they say what network?
For sure. I'm sorry?
Did they say what network she was on?
Fox.
Fox, okay.
Okay.
Yep. Daytime. Yep. Daytime show on Fox. All right. More power to her.
Cameron Hall and all of them are there. Well, they got rid of old boys. Maybe she took his spot.
Oh.
Or Ellis. Yeah, somebody might take Ellis spot. It was time for her to go.
Ellen, he was on NBC.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that Beyonce's dropping a new album?
Oh, yes, she is. I forgot to say that. Sorry about that. Yep. Yeah, of course, she always puts the buzz out there, and she hasn't put anything out, in about 12, 13 years? Oh, this time.
I think it's been about 6.
Lemonade.
It hasn't been that long. It's been about 6 years since whatever the last one was.
Lemonade?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you beehives, they're going to get it in.
Yeah, they all about to be buzzing.
Yeah. All right. That's my Hollywood wrap-up.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Whew. So much going on. All right. Let's see. Now we're down to the Kiss It list. Where did Poppa DD just go? Poppa DD, we're down to the Kiss It list. Can you tell everybody what the world-famous Kiss It list is?
Well, the Kiss It list is everybody that showed their butt hiney over the last week or so, and you put them on blast. And the first person is Clarence Thomas. Man, I never seen such an Uncle Tom black man in my life. And then he gonna marry a white booger bear.
And don't forget her too, Jenny.
Jenny Thomas.
Jenny.
Gosh, she's just horrible.
Jenny.
You pushing up on old girl at your hearing, or when she was in the office with you, you trying to get with her. But deep down inside, you're going to marry a, damn.
I got another random one.
Woo.
I was going to pull this one in. We didn't get it on the Weird News, but this guy named Dean Gunter, he lived somewhere in the UK. This man had Nike shoes tattooed on his feet because he said he was tired of having to keep buying shoes. So I guess he thinks he's going to walk around barefoot with this Nike shoe tattoo all over his foot.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with these people, I'm trying to tell you. He's on something. Also, the evil mail carrier that you encountered.
Yeah.
And the crackhead at the U-Haul.
Oh, yeah, the crackhead at the U-Haul. Yeah.
And
I appreciate you going into my life and putting on blast. Thank you.
I got Marjorie Taylor Greene, as usual, but this time.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you all heard that there's been a tampon shortage because of the supply chain shortage and the shortage on the cotton and whatever else is used to make tampons. So now those are on shortage.
What am I going to do?
So Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a statement and said, the real reason there's a tampon shortage is because of the trans people.
Oh, shit.
Like, what? So, leave it to her to come up with something wild and asinine.
She said because of the trans.
She said the shortage is because of the trans people because the White House is putting tampons in men's rooms.
Wow. I've heard it all.
Marjorie,
Wow.
Marjorie.
I don't understand. I tell you.
Man.
And just like I was saying about the crackhead U-Haul. I don't understand how she became a congressperson. Damn, I need to run for that.
I don't understand how she got reelected. How those people in Georgia voted for her again.
Because that's what they want to do, and they got the power. Her district was lily white, and that's who they wanted.
I'm wrong with her.
Unbelievable.
All of the people who ransacked the Capitol, I'm keeping them on the kiss it list.
Yeah,
I know that's right. There you go. That's what's up.
Today is the actually 50th year of the Watergate scandal.
Oh yeah.
And everybody involved in that. Tricky Dick Richard Nixon, who broke into the Democrat, and also put the Watergate Hotel on the kiss it list. Because if you want to stay in the Watergate, the room that the Watergate break-in went in, that's $1,200 a night.
Oh my!
Just to stay in a room where they broke into the Watergate Hotel. The Watergate Hotel is in D.C. right behind the what do you call that place? The Kennedy Center.
Right.
Kennedy Center, yeah.
All right, and don't forget Trump. Put Trump on the kiss it list.
With Trump, yeah.
He's always on the list.
All the people's on the list, and we have a song. We have a song and a gift just for them. This is for you guys. Everybody on the kiss it list.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh, you can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever-loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm your host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. We're
All
down
right.
to the last word.
This is our last word.
Over to you, Poppa DD. What's your last word?
Me first? Okay, my last word is this here. Cash or plastic. It's your choice. When you go out today, go to Mac Machine, get you some cash, because cash still works, okay? I know that we're all become bougie in our life and everything and all that jazz, and just giving the plastic. White folks used to say back in the day, like they go to lunch with a bunch of black people, and the first thing a white person say, "Oh, I didn't bring any cash." Okay, bullshit. You know what I mean? You ever experienced that at lunch?
Yes.
White folks one white person goes to lunch with a bunch of black people, and when the bill comes, "Oh, I didn't bring any cash." Oh my God. Anyway, but all I'm saying is that going forward with these businesses, with customer service and everything, please go to the ATM machine and get you some cash. When you're going somewhere that looks a little suspect, everybody's crazy, especially Chinese stores. And it makes it so bad that the Asian people want these rights where they want to be like protected from any kind of violence against them when they're the evilest motherfuckers on the planet. You ever go buy some shrimp fried rice? Oh, you want it's a sweet sauce. Give me $5. And you want protection from other people when y'all the evilest jokers on the planet? Are you serious? Asians are the evilest people on the planet. No disrespect. Damn. But they said, oh, let's pass a bill to protect the Asians. Who's going to protect us from them?
Oh, boy.
Anyway,
that's
my last word.
Okay.
That evil as shit.
Okay.
Give me a French fry right.
Didi.
Okay, all right. I'm done.
My last word is shout out to the cast and crew of Angie's Cure, featuring our hometown talent, Lynette Tichelle and Corey Grant are the producers and writers. So be on the lookout for Angie's Cure.
Angie's Cure.
It'll be premiering probably within the next few months.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. You can follow them on social media at Angie's Cure Film. Check them out. And
Lynette
that's my
Tichelle
last word.
and Corey Grant.
Yes.
Pull them up.
All right.
That's our people.
Thank
Ketel,
you,
what's
Poppa
your last
DD,
word?
for the reinforcement. My last word is, folks, don't forget about this weekend, Juneteenth, which is the Black Folks Independence Day, however you want to look at it.
Yay!
But go out there and let's celebrate. You know, not go out here and act a fool, and let's just go out and celebrate and have a good time. And act like we have some sense. So, happy Juneteenth to everybody, and hey, let's just keep it moving. That's
and happy
last
Father's
word.
Day to all the fathers and the father figures and folk who have stood in the gap for someone in the role of a father. Happy Father's Day.
As my man George Michael said, I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. I will be your teacher, preacher. Anything you have in mind.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
All right.
I have had enough of crying. I will be the one who loves you.
All right, this is Redwine. Signing off until next week. Can you say goodnight, Papa?
Y'all got no respect for me at all.
You got your song.
I need to go pursue my singing career and leave y'all two in the
Okay,
dust.
well, just say goodnight.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Well, next week, same time, 9 o'clock, 9:15 CP time.
There you go. That's CP stuff. All right.
CP time, 9:15.
All right. I'm just signing off, and I'm just saying, come on, Clarence. That's my last word.
Boy.
All right. Say goodnight, Kevin.
Good night, Juneteenth people.
All right. Happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Black people.
Go celebrate.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of jazz.
Well, I say when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy.